channel. My name is Naomi Rook. If you're brand new to my channel, consider subscribing. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure to ring that notification bell so you can be notified anytime I do upload a video. Today, what I'm going to be doing is trying some newer products. I've picked up just a few things, not a whole lot. It's not a full face. It is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's only 6 products that I'm trying, but I do like those where I'm not trying absolutely everything new. Some things I'm well acquainted with the formula, so I kind of know how everything works, and then when I add new things, I know what I don't like and what didn't work for me. So the products I'll be testing out today, I have the Melt Cosmetics Mary Jane eyeshadow palette. Is how I created this eyeshadow look. Not going to tell you, not going to give you any spoilers, but this is a really beautiful palette, so if you'd like to see how the colors perform, just keep watching for that. I also tried out the Jaclyn Cosmetics Brightening and Setting Palette. This is really exciting. This is the first product I bought from her brand. I also have the Kelidose Mars Melter Highlighter. I have the Farsali SkinTune Blur Primer. I tried out the Estee Lauder Double Wear Light. And then I also have the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. So if you would like to see how these products perform and how I created this really beautiful, kind of smokier, sultrier look, then just keep watching. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start. I have my eyebrows done. My eyelids are primed. We're going to go ahead and go into the Melt Cosmetics. This is the Mary Jane eyeshadow palette. This is such a really beautiful palette. I like the packaging. It's kind of like the smoke and the letters are risen. It has like texture. I think that's super cool. Really neat design. I like this. This is my first Melt Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. I've wanted the Gemini palette forever, but I do want to get it on sale, so I'm kind of holding off. I did actually get this one on sale. This is such a gorgeous neutral eyeshadow palette. I love the colors of it. I'm really excited to try the formula. I've heard both good and bad about their eyeshadow palettes. I've heard that they're flaky. I've heard that they blend incredibly. So I did definitely want to try it for myself. I've been wanting to get a couple of really great statement neutral eyeshadow palettes just because I do have a ton of colorful eyeshadow palettes. So I am definitely going to do a really beautiful neutral look. There are a few kind of greeny colors, but I'm going to stay mostly with these matte browns and these really beautiful champagne colors. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with Mary. This is a very beautiful, neutral, kind of light brown, and I'm going to use it as a transition color. I'm going to take a Glamour Dolls blending brush, tap that in, and just put that right into the crease. So this is my first time even dipping into this palette. I haven't tried any of these colors at all. I've had it for about a week, but I did end up going camping. So this is my very, very first time touching this eyeshadow palette. So there is that color in the crease. It is a really great kind of light brown, just a really good transition color. So I'm going to do the same on the other eye. Next, I'm going to take this really beautiful matte brown in Rubia. I'm going to put that in my outer V area. And that has a lot of pigment. I'm kind of just placing that, and then I will blend it out. And I'm going to take that Glamour Dolls with a little bit more of that Mary and blend out that Rubia. I'm just kind of blowing that out a little bit. I'm taking a mix of the Mary and the Rubia, and I'm going to blend that out even more into the crease. I'm going into this darker matte brown. It's Sinsemilla, I think is what it's called. And I'm taking the same brush that I used in Mary, the Glamour Dolls brush, and I'm going to do that on the outer V and just darken that up even more. This is going to be a darker smoky eye, but I'm not sure how you would get anything else using this palette. I'm pretty sure this palette was meant for the dark smoky eye. Alright, so I am so excited to get into this color. It is called Cali. It looks like a really, really beautiful shimmer. I'm not sure if it's more of a topper or from metallic. So there is that color. It seems kind of dry, but very thin. So I'm going to try to apply this with my finger the best I can, even though I have nails, and then we'll wet it if we need to. That is beautiful. It definitely is a very thin metallic. It has lots of really beautiful glitter to it. So I'm kind of just setting that in my corner and then kind of wiping and patting. Next, I'm going to go with this mid-tone brown metallic. It's called Belle. And I'm going to put that on the middle half of my lid. Just see what type of color that is. Oh, that's such a beautiful, really creamy, neutral brown. I love that. It feels dry as well, but it seems a little bit thicker than that Cali color. I think the metallics in this palette are different from shade to shade. That's just what my first instincts are. Now I'm going to take a clean blending brush and I'm going to go ahead and just blend everything out. It's looking really pretty, super simple smoky eye, but I do just want to see like the impactfulness of the colors. So those metallics have tons of impact, but what I want to do is wet a brush just to see if I can get even more payoff from the colors. I take a very small flat shader brush. This is the Lavish eye shading, and then I'm going to put that Cali color on it and then spray my Avion water onto it. I'm just going to take that on the inner corner and kind of just tap that on the lid. That is definitely adding a lot more sheen to my lid. So I will say that these metallics are kind of chunky. They have quite a lot of fallout. I'm getting quite a lot on my cheeks. A little bit is kind of flaking up by my eyebrow. But it's not a big deal. That's why I always do my eyeshadow before my face, because then I can just wipe it off super easy. So it's not a big deal if there is flaking or fallout. I just want to let you know that they do seem a little flaky. So there is that side that is wet and there is that side that is dry. I definitely see quite a big difference from the wet to the dry. It does add just a huge amount of metallic glossiness to the lid almost. Super, super pretty. I really, really like that. And like you can tell, there's a lot of flaking in the pan as well. I wanted to let you know. Alright, so I'm just going to tap this on wet to this side. And then I'm going to add a little bit more of that bow on the back half of my lid. And I'm using that wet brush again. Taking that small blending brush and that Sensimilla color, which is the darkest in the palette, and just adding a bit more depth to my outer V. There is that really beautiful smoky eye. I do like how this is performing. I think the mattes are working pretty good. The metallics are pretty flaky, like I said, but I think if you use them wet, that's definitely the key, because they're not flaking off as much if they are wet. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to clean up the fallout. I'm going to do a tiny wing liner, my mascara, and then I will be right back with the rest of the makeup. Alright, so I applied mascara and I did my wing liner. I love how this eyeshadow look turned out. It's very basic, very easy, but it's the most beautiful smoky eye. I haven't had any fallout since I cleaned up everything with a wipe. So as I did my mascara, curled my lashes, everything, I didn't have any more fallout. So that lets me know I'm probably not going to have fallout throughout the day, which is really good. That's the only thing that does bug me. A lot of the times I will use my NYX glitter glue, because fallout on my face after I've done all my makeup and I did my eyeshadow first, that drives me nuts. I think we're going to be safe with this. So we're going to go ahead and start with the face. I'm going to prime my face and I'm going to use my Farsali SkinTune Blur. It's just a mini. I've used this a few times, so this isn't a brand new product, but I haven't used it a ton, so I still don't really know if I think it's worth the money. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that, just using a little bit of it, and then going to rub it in with my fingers. And for foundation, I am so excited. I've had this for a little while. I haven't had a chance to try it out. So this is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Light. So this is a soft, matte, hydrating makeup. I've been wanting to try the Estee Lauder Double Wear for a really long time, but I have heard it can be a little heavy, especially if you have drier skin, which I do. I kind of teeter, especially in the summer, on dry, more normal, but I didn't want anything too heavy and too cakey. When I saw this, I thought this was really exciting. I definitely wanted to try it. I have this in 1 neutral, 2 ecru. But it's definitely a little light for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a little bit of my Flower Heat Wave. This is a bronzing essence. I'm going to try them together, see if I can kind of manipulate the color a little bit better to fit me, and then maybe this will kind of lighten it up a little bit if this is going to be too dry. So I'm not going to have a full wear test on this foundation because I will have mixing mediums in it, but I still think it will be worth trying out. So I'm going to go ahead and apply some of that to the back of my hand. So there is that color. It's a very thick, creamy foundation. It is running, you can see, there we go. You can see it's very thick foundation. It's definitely too light for me. So I'm going to mix the two of them together. And I'm going to take just a little bit of this bronzing essence. I'm not going to do too much. I'm just going to mix a little bit at a time. See how much I need to add and if it'll kind of manipulate the color for me. So there is a little bit. I definitely need a bit more. Alright, so there it is. It's getting a little bit closer to my skin tone, so I think I'm going to go ahead and try that just so I'm not manipulating it too much with that bronzing essence. So I'm going to go ahead and apply it a little bit to my cheek, just what was on my finger, a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and go in with my e.l.f. buffing foundation brush. I'm just going to blend this in. So it definitely is still too light, but I'll go ahead and add other bronzing products just to darken it up. It does have really good coverage though. And I am so sorry, it did just start raining, so if you can hear that, I do apologize, but I cannot do nothing about it, and I'm not going to stop filming. So this is actually looking pretty nice. Up close, I think it looks really pretty. It has really good coverage. It's not looking cakey or heavy. Because it is quite a thick formula, I do think it applies better with the sponge. I'm definitely liking the way it's looking up close. I do want to do a bit of a wear test, but I think it looks nice so far. Next, I'm going to go in with my Tarte Ultra Creamy. This is nothing new, but I have been absolutely loving it. I don't have a new concealer, so I figured I would just use an old, reliable one that I've really been liking a lot. So I'm just going to apply just a tiny bit. And as that foundation is sitting on my face, I really like it. It's just looking really nice. I know I've only had it on for a few minutes, but it just looks natural. It has really nice coverage. I think it's really pretty, so that's exciting. Next, I am so excited. I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. When I saw that e.l.f. was coming out with a Putty Bronzer, I was so excited. I love their Putty blushes. It's one of my favorite blush formulas from the drugstore. I think it's just beautiful. So I was really excited to see that they're coming out with the bronzers. So there are a ton of colors, super wide range of colors, which I love seeing that. They go really dark and very light. They have a grayish kind of cool tone one that I would like to try also. But I did end up getting Bronze Belle, so I will show you the color. So that definitely looks a bit dark. What I've been hearing about this formula is that it's very sheer. So I did want to try this, and I saw someone on TikTok, Rose in Bed. She's on TikTok, she's on Instagram, she's really great. I saw her using this color, so it worked for her. I figured it would work for me. I feel like we're about the same skin tone. What I'm going to use is my Luxie. This is my beloved 552 Flat Contour. I love this for cream bronzers, so I'm just going to tap it into the product, kind of like that, and just apply it like I would apply any other cream bronzer. I'm not loving it with that brush, so I'm gonna go in with, this is a Luxie 516 Dual Fiber Powder Brush, and try that and see if I can get more of an airbrushed application with a lighter brush. That is definitely blending it out a little bit more seamlessly. I think this might need a more kind of flexible brush versus a dense brush, just to really blend in the formula. It does look really nice. I am glad I went with this color. I think it works really well for my skin tone, especially in the summer when I have a bit more of a tan. Anything lighter would probably have been too light. So that does look really pretty, adding a really gorgeous kind of summer-like glow. I like what it's doing to my cheeks. I feel like it's kind of almost a blush bronzer kind of combination product. I really do like that. I'm going to take that Luxie brush and I'm going to try to bronze up the sides of my nose using this brush and see if that kind of works out. Close, it definitely looks kind of airbrush, which is definitely the benefit of the Putty blushes, and why I like them so much is because I feel like it makes my cheeks look really airbrush. Next, I'm going to do some powdering on my face. I am so excited to try the Jaclyn Cosmetics. This is the Brightening and Setting Palette. This is the first thing I've purchased from her brand. I was so excited, and I heard incredible things about this setting palette, and the reason I really wanted this is because I find that, especially because I fluctuate in skin tone, lighter, tanner, darker, fake tan, I wanted to have something where I could have every color I could possibly need. So here is the component. So beautiful. I love that the J on here is risen. I think that's super sleek. It's not a super big compact for 4 colors. I think it's a perfect size. It's not super thick. I think it looks really nice. It definitely feels weighted and expensive. It is a tad pricey. It's $39, but you do get 4 powders. So if you take a drugstore powder, any of them, they're all about $5 to $10. You balance it out for 4 colors. I do think it's a really good deal. There are the different colors. I have peach, light banana, almond, and caramel. So there are 4 different colorways, I believe, and I think this is the light. I can't remember, and it doesn't say anywhere on the box or anything, but I don't think it was the fair because I heard it ran really light, so I think I did get the light one. I will have that linked in the description box down below what color this one is. Oh, and it also has a really nice size mirror, the size of the palette, which I love that. I'm gonna go ahead and start with just the lightest color. This is almond, and I'm gonna go ahead and set my under eyes with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and tap in and kind of just knock it off and just go ahead and apply that. So that is a really beautiful light color. I like that it didn't darken my concealer. A lot of powders I find do darken your concealer. That is really brightening. It's probably a little too bright, but I kind of like that. Take that down. It looks really nice, really flawless. Up close, it does not look dark or anything. It did kind of catch right there. I'm not sure what that's about. So I'm going to take my little sponge and kind of tap it out, because I'm not really sure why the powder clung onto right there. But let's see if I can kind of fix that. Next, I'm going with the caramel color. I'm going to set the top of my nose with that. There's that. It's all set. I do really like how this looks. It might be a little bit too light for me, but maybe it's just kind of the lighting. I have really bad lighting right now. I have my ring light, and then it's really dark outside, so it's kind of cruddy lighting. But I think that looks really nice. Let's go ahead and kind of chisel up my jawline right here, and I'm going to use the light banana color. So you can see how pigmented. Wow, that is just so pigmented. I like it though because I can kind of clean up my contour. I do think it's too light though. I think it's a little bit too light, which is weird because it looks the right color in the pan. So there is that color, and there it is swatched. I don't feel like those look the same. I feel like it looks just way lighter on my finger than it actually does in the pan. Okay, so let me try to kind of fix this just a little bit. I mean, it works really well. I like how much coverage the powder has. I feel like it just has a ton of coverage. I really cleaned up my jawline, almost too much, but I do like it. It's just maybe a little too light for me. Up close, it just looks really seamless, like really, really flawless. I like that. I do like how it looks on my skin for sure. I'm gonna go in with some setting spray. This is the Milani Make It Last Original. I'm gonna just spray my face a little bit. Before that dries, I'm gonna apply a highlighter. I got kind of a cool little unique highlighter. This is from Kelidose Makeup. This is the Mars Melter. I kind of wanted a peachy pink highlighter. I think this is going to be a little bit too peachy pink for me. So we're going to see if I can make this work on my face. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a little brush, and I'm going to just apply a little bit. And I'm going to kind of tap it because I think it's more glitter packed than anything. And I like to apply highlighters when my face is a little bit wet with setting spray, just because I think it blends everything together and it doesn't give me any type of chalky finish. Okay, I needed to get a bigger mirror. It's definitely very, very glittery. And I'm not a huge glitter fan. I just find like it looks like all of the color is just from glitter. There's no like colored back to it in a way. I mean, it definitely looks really pretty in camera, but I don't think it's going to be super flattering. Well, that's just gorgeous right there. The problem is on camera, it looks just really, really wet and glossy. Like it looks just beautiful, and if it looked like that in person, but the problem is it's just glitter. There's no color like it looks there. It's just a bunch of glitter on my face. It's really pretty. I just don't think it's the highlighter that I was looking for. I'm wanting a peach pink reflective highlighter. So if you know of any reflective peaky peach highlighters that'll work for a light to medium skin tone, let me know, because I'm definitely on the hunt, but I don't like glitter. I want it to look almost wet on my skin. I want it to look like that wetness, but in real life, not just on the camera, because it just really looks glittery and I'm not a fan of that. Alright, I'm almost done with my makeup. I am going to go ahead and apply a little bit of a blush. I'm just going to go in with my Dolls Beauty Pretty Fly. I love this, especially when I have kind of darker, smokier eyes. I think this is a perfect everyday blush. I've talked about this quite a lot, and this is Take Me to the Peach. Really beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and just use a little fluffy brush. This is the Pure P10, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply that to my cheeks right on top of that highlighter. And maybe that'll kind of blend it all in. So I don't have any new lips, so I'm just going to use something that I thought would match the look. So I'm going to go with my Colourpop Brink lip liner. And then I'm going to go with my beloved Badest Beige from Maybelline. I love this lipstick more than anything. It's kind of a beautiful summer peachy lip. And just apply that. So there is the lip. It's a little bit pinkier than I would want, but I'm going to leave it because I really do like it. So there is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed this video. I loved making it. Something about the products I used today just made me feel so pretty. So let's go over the products I used and my thoughts on them. So the Mel Cosmetics Mary Jane palette, I love this. This is gorgeous. What a beautiful color story. Something super beautiful. Definitely nothing super unique, but I do want to have some staples in my collections, like I said, and this is, I think, will be a great one. Not sure I'm going to be a fan of their metallics because they are a little chunky, a little glittery. I can definitely get past it, and I haven't had any more fallout on my face since I cleaned it up, so it won't be a big deal, but I think this is going to be a really great palette for any type of dark, smoky look I might want. Next, the Farsali SkinTune. I'm not sure if this is going to be my absolute favorite. I do just have a mini. I will continue to use it up, but I don't think it's worth the money. I definitely have some ones from the drugstore. I do probably prefer more. The e.l.f. Blur Serum, I loved that one a lot. I've almost finished that, and that's a full size. I would repurchase that one. This I don't think is my favorite. This Estee Lauder foundation, I love how this looks on my face. I think it is really pretty. I do have that mixing medium, which changes it up a little bit, but I think it's going to be a really, really good matte full coverage foundation that's not too heavy. So I'm definitely going to purchase this in a darker color so I can try it without the mixing medium, but I think I'm going to really love this. A brightening and setting powder palette from Jaclyn Cosmetics. I think this looks gorgeous on the skin. It's definitely too light, and like I said, I think this is the light, which is so rare for me to have light powders that are too light for me, so I'm definitely probably going to have to get the medium, but I really love how this looks on my face. It just looks airbrush. It looks completely flawless. I really do like it. It might be a little too light, but I think it's really pretty. I'm really excited about these powders. It's hard for me to find powders that really work for my skin because I do have more on the dry side skin type, but I really do like these powders. I think they look really nice, and I really like my makeup. It looks really seamless and something I would definitely like to wear out, and I don't think it would melt off my face. The e.l.f. Putty Bronzer, I love this. I think it looks really great as well. I like the tone. I'm really glad I went for this because I do think something lighter would definitely be too sheer and too light for me. So I'm glad I went with the Belle Bronze. This is a really pretty color. I like the formula a lot, which I figured I would because I do like the Putty blushes. So I figured I love the Putty Bronzer. I think it's a really great cream bronzer from the drugstore. I love this. And the last product that I tested out, the Mars Melter from Kelidose Cosmetics. It's not the concealer that I was looking for, so I'm definitely a little bummed. It looks beautiful on camera, but like I said, up close it is just glitter. There isn't a lot of metallic or wetness to it. It's just a whole lot of glitter packed onto my cheeks. I love how it looks on camera. Not a fan of it in person. I will continue to look for a good peachy pink highlighter because that is what I'm on the hunt for. Let me know your ideas and your thoughts of where I can find one. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I loved making it. I love these products. I haven't filmed for a couple of days, so I'm really excited to be filming if you can't tell. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye guys.